be brutally honest, plenty of folks struck it rich in crypto. We're talking life-changing sums from Bitcoin's early days, from one meme coin that pumped harder than a caffeinated squirrel. Yet they're still stressed out of their minds, confused about the next move, and terrified of the IRS knocking like it's Judgment Day. Most people think crypto is just about the price, those wild charts that spike like a heart attack and crash like a bad breakup, about timing the market, getting in early, and crashing out before the whole thing implodes. But let's face it, that's not why you dove into this digital rabbit hole. You got in for freedom. Freedom from a soul-crushing job that caps your upside at barely enough to afford ramen upgrades. Freedom from a system that rewards nepotism over intelligence and punishes risk-takers with audits that feel like medieval torture. Freedom from a life that feels smaller than your potential, like you're stuck in a cubicle while your brain is plotting world domination. Crypto wasn't just an investment, it was a rebellion. A signal that you're done playing the old game where the house always wins. But here's the dark, twisted truth that no one whispers at crypto conferences. Most investors never escape the investor trap. They hoard their bags like doomsday preppers, waiting for the perfect moonshot that never comes. Not because they lack capital. Hell, some of you are sitting on fortunes that could buy small islands. Not because they lack smarts. You've outsmarted central banks, after all. But because no one's handed them the blueprint to turn volatile pixels into a rock-solid, real-world empire. That's where Numeratus.us steps in, like the Grim Reaper of financial paralysis, here to guide you from speculation to sovereignty. Crypto is like adopting a feral cat. It's exciting at first, but without structure, it'll scratch up your life and leave you wondering why you're bleeding money to the IRS. Or here's why crypto wealth alone doesn't change your life. Let's be brutally honest, plenty of folks struck it rich in crypto. We're talking life-changing sums from Bitcoin's early days, from one meme coin that pumped harder than a caffeinated squirrel. Yet they're still stressed out of their minds, confused about the next move, and terrified of the IRS knocking like it's Judgment Day. Afraid to sell, afraid to spend, afraid to build anything beyond a diversified portfolio of regrets. Why? Because wealth without structure is like handing over a weapon to a toddler. It's chaotic and potentially fatal to your finances. Crypto delivers non-linear money. One day you're up 10x, the next you're pondering ramen again. But the real world, it's run on linear rails. Entities like LLCs or trusts, compliance with ever-changing regulations, steady cash flow, meticulous reporting, and systems that don't crash with every market dip. Here's a fact check. According to the IRS, crypto is treated as property, not currency. Every sale, trade, or even using it to buy a cup of coffee triggers a taxable event, leading to capital gains tax. Hold for a year or less, that short-term gains taxed at ordinary income tax rates, up to 37% federally. If it's over a year, long-term rates of 0%, 15%, or 20%, depending on your bracket. But ignore staking rewards or airdrops. Those are ordinary income too. What happens? They sit on assets, delaying decisions like a bad horror movie where the villain is indecision. They play eternal defense, haunted by questions. What if I sell and trigger a massive tax bill? What if I start a business and the IRS audits me into oblivion? What if I move money offshore and end up in a Netflix documentary about tax evasion? Fear wins, and dreams die quietly in a wallet app. Numeratus.us exists to replace that fear with cold, hard clarity. It's ironic, isn't it? You outran fiat inflation, but now you're paralyzed by the fear of Uncle Sam turning your gains into his lunch money. And here's the missing link from investor to operator. They treat you like a tax form, not a visionary. Crypto investors don't just want tax prep. That's as exciting as watching paint dry. They crave control. They want to know exactly what they own, beyond some Bitcoin and altcoin they purchased from 2021. What it truly means in a world of forks and rugs. What they can actually do with it without landing in hot water, and how to charge forward safely. At Numeratus.us, we flip the script. We don't start with, what did you trade last quarter? That's amateur. We ask, what empire do you want to build? Maybe it's launching a protocol, flipping real estate with crypto proceeds, or even starting a family office that outlives you. Once you answer that, the dominoes fall. Your entity structure evolves perhaps from a solo trader to an LLC or an S-corp to minimize self-employment taxes. Your reporting sharpens, tracking every transaction across wallets and exchanges to comply with IRS Form 8949 and Schedule D. Your tax strategy optimizes, harvesting losses to offset gains. And your cash decisions? They become strategic, not scattershot. We guide clients from that nagging "I hope I don't mess up" whisper echoing during every bear market to a confident roar. I know exactly what I'm doing and why. That's the alchemy turning investors into operators. Facts back this up. The pitfall is underreporting. The IRS now tracks crypto via exchanges, 1099 forms, and audits have spiked 50% in recent years for high net worth crypto holders. Our aim is to prevent that nightmare. Picture this. Without us, you're like a crypto miner in a power outage. Lots of potential, but stuck in the dark, hoping the lights come back on before the bill comes due. Let me set the record straight. Numeratus.us isn't your grandma's accounting firm. We're not a crypto tax mill churning out forms like a sweatshop. Not a spreadsheet factory where numbers go to die. Not a one-time filing service that ghosts you post April 15th. We're a white glove concierge back office for builders wielding modern money in a legacy world. We handle the gritty details, reconciling crypto across fragmented wallets, exchanges, and entities, because who has time to manually track 500 trades? Compliance that lets you sleep without nightmares of audits, adhering to IRS guidelines where even mining rewards count as income at fair market value. Financial clarity that fuels real decisions like whether to offset gains with losses or defer taxes via like-kind exchanges. Or you might ask yourself, wait, no, crypto doesn't qualify for 1031s anymore. In fact, we drill home to avoid costly mistakes. So instead of fretting, can I afford this venture, you pivot to what's the smartest, most tax-efficient way to launch it. That mindset shift. It's pure gold. For instance, one client, a former trader turned NFT gallery owner, used our insights to structure his business, saving 25% on taxes by properly classifying expenses. Crypto losses can offset other income, but only if reported correctly. Botch it, and you're facing penalties up to 75% for underpayment. Traditional accountants are like therapists who only listen to your problems, and they work for the IRS. We don't. And if the IRS is the boogeyman, consider us your nightlight. Let's talk about the real transformation, what changes for our clients. When clients partner with Numeratus, magic happens. Dark, practical magic. 3 systemic shifts occur. Noise disappears. No more guessing games or half-baked Reddit advice that leads to tax traps like forgetting airdrops or taxable income. No more panicking, scrolling forums at 3 a.m. You get full panoramic view, every asset mapped, every liability quantified. One client discovered $50,000 in underreporting staking rewards. We fixed it before the IRS did. Confidence replaces hesitation. Clients ditch the permission-seeking vibe. They execute boldly, launching side hustles like crypto-funded startups, investing in ventures with clear return on investment projections, looping in spouses for family wealth planning, and ending procrastination cycles. Many delay due to fear of capital gains, but with proper tracking, you can time sales to minimize hits. And money becomes a tool, not a threat. Crypto sheds its dangerous volatility skin and becomes sturdy infrastructure. Lives transform. One investor pivoted from hodling to building a sustainable income stream via a consulting firm, using tax strategies to reinvest gains wisely. It's like going from dating crypto full of highs, lows, and ghosting to marrying it with a prenup that protects you from the divorce court known as tax season. Why does this matter more than money? Here's the unexpected twist. The real Numeratus value isn't just tax savings, though we do slash bills by optimizing, like deducting home office setups for traders. It's an identity overhaul. Clients evolve from that guy who owns crypto dodging questions at the family dinners to the builders of systems commanding respect. This mindset ripples. You spend intentionally, not impulsively. Goodbye to the Lambo regrets. You plan legacy level, like trusts for kids amid crypto's wild swings. You raise children with financial literacy, not fear. You show up in the world as an entrepreneur, not a spectator. Facts underscore this. Studies show entrepreneurs report 20% higher life satisfaction, and structured wealth management reduces stress by quantifying risks. That's not mere accounting, it's empowerment, turning potential into power. Without it, you're just a rich zombie shuffling through life. With it, you're the one directing the apocalypse. But here's an invitation. If you're watching this, glued to your screen while your crypto wallet mocks you with untapped potential. If you sense there's more to build, more freedom to seize, more life locked behind indecision, the raw truth, your next level won't materialize from another trade or moonshot meme. It'll emerge from structure that tames chaos, clarity that cuts through fog, systems that scale, and support that has your back. Numeratus.us is crafted for those ready to ditch speculation and embrace building. If you're primed to transform digital wealth into a thriving real-world life, we're waiting for you. If this hit home, swing by Numeratus.us, book a call, not to buy a service, but to glimpse at what's truly possible for you.